Hey everybody, this is day 15 of Commit. Today's practice is all about sun salutations. We're going to be going through sun salutation A and B, discussing modifications and breathing cues. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stick around to the end of the video where we discuss some tips for your practice. We're going to start this practice by warming up the upper body with some cat-cow movements, finding space between each vertebrae and stretching the abdominals. To table, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Walk out the heels, warming up the legs. Shift to a plank position. In a sun salutation, we flow through chaturanga or four-limbed staff pose. To modify, we can do a chaturanga negative instead. With me now, shift forward onto your toes, tuck your arms in at your sides and lower to your belly with control, holding your core very firm. From here, we can press to a baby cobra, keeping the elbows bent as much as needed, or press through the hands, straightening the arms to cobra if our mobility allows. Aim for a continuous curve in the spine, avoiding any pinching sensations. Let's do that again. Arms in at your sides, lower with control. Press to cobra. Here you can also press to upward facing dog, floating the legs and hips above the mat, pressing through the hands and tops of the feet. This is where we would typically move to from chaturanga in a sun salutation. Let's do it again, this time lifting straight to upward facing dog. Coming to plank, arms tucked firmly at our sides, lower with control, press to up dog. Great, now let's look at another alternative to chaturanga. Making your way back to plank, this time lower the knees first, still staying strong through the core. Arms tuck into the sides of the body as we lower our chest and chin to the mat. Then from here, we press to baby cobra, cobra, or upward facing dog. Let's do that one again. Back to plank. Lower the knees. Hug the sides of the body firmly with the upper arms. I'm talking bear hug here. Lower the chest and chin and press up. Now let's try a chaturanga as best we can. To plank, engage the entire body, squeezing everything tight. Avoid dipping in the back. Tiptoe forward first. This helps to get the shoulders into proper alignment. Gaze forward as you lower to a hover. Elbows to a 90-degree angle as much as possible. Dive forward to upward facing dog and press to down dog. If you weren't able to hold chaturanga and come through to up dog, continue practicing the alternatives and every so often give it a go, holding as best you can. This will help you develop the strength needed to eventually hold the lower position and then shift to upward facing dog. Let's walk to the front of our mat now to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale down. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. One more small flow to complete our warm-up before getting into our sun salutations. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to chair pose, hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Starting with sun salutation A, let's break it down with modifications to start. Now, upward salute involves a small back bend and an upward gaze. To modify, we can simply raise our arms up overhead, no back bend, and keep our gaze forward to protect the back and neck. If you have shoulder issues, keep the hands far apart overhead without taking them together, or simply keep them at your heart. Next, we forward fold, easing into it with bent knees if the back of the legs or the lower back are tight. Then it's a halfway lift, gazing down to the floor, keeping a flat back. Folding again, bending the knees as needed to plant the palms shoulder width apart, fingers spread wide. Step one foot back, then the other to plank pose. To a modified chaturanga, lower the knees, chest, and chin with your arms tucked in firmly at your sides. Raise the chest to baby cobra or cobra pose, staying long through the back and neck, shoulders down and away from the ears. Coming to downward facing dog, we can press back onto the knees before pressing our hips up in down dog. In down dog, you can walk the heels out or stay still. Slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands, keeping the knees bent as needed in a forward fold. Squeeze your glutes as you come to a halfway lift, keeping the back flat. Lower to fold, and bend the knees more deeply if you need to as you come back up to standing in upward salute. Lower your hands together at your chest. Let's go through sun salutation A now, completely modified one more time, but a little faster. Starting with an upward salute, keeping the back and neck straight, arms up wide apart. Forward fold with a bend in the knees. Halfway lift to a flat back, hands on your legs as high as you like. Fold, bending the knees, planting the palms, and stepping back 1 foot at a time to plank. This time, let's lower all the way down, arms tucked in at our sides, press the chest up to cobra pose, option to keep the elbows bent. Press back through table to downward facing dog. All or any of these modifications can be applied anytime you are doing sun salutations if and when you need or prefer to use them. Walk to a forward fold, keeping the knees bent. Halfway lift. Forward fold with a bend in the knees. Upward salute. Hands to heart. Next, we're going to move through an unmodified version of sun salutation A. Feel free to modify if you need to. Upward salute, small back bend, pressing the hips forward, lift the chest and gaze up towards the hands, bringing them together. Forward fold from the hips, keeping the back flat for as long as you can. Wrap your peace fingers around your big toes and lift the chest to a flat back, gazing down. This is your half lift unmodified. Plant the palms, step or hop back to plank. Arms tucked in at your sides, lower to chaturanga. Strong shoulders, press the chest up to upward facing dog, flatten to the tops of the feet. Roll the feet back to downward facing dog. Gaze to your hands, step or hop to a forward fold, half lift, and lower. Upward salute. Hands to heart. Let's do that again. This time we'll be cueing our breath to go along with the movements. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Then retain your breath as you place the palms down and make your way to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. Now, depending on the situation, you may be instructed to take anywhere from 1 to 5 full breaths in down dog. I like to use this time to slow down my breath, as long as we're moving forward on an exhale coming out of down dog. On your next exhale, making our way to fold, walk, or hop. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Here you can take a full breath before your next sun salutation. Let's do that again, now really focusing on flowing with our breath. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Retain, make your way to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. Slow down your breath. On an exhale to forward fold, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Adjust as needed here. We're going to go into 5 sun salutations, just like the one we just did. Feel free to modify any of the movements at any point at all during this flow to maintain proper alignment. Let's get started. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Retain, making your way to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's aim for about 2 full breaths here. On an exhale, making your way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a full breath here. 4 more times. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Retain, making your way to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 full breaths here. On an exhale, making your way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath. 3 more to go. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Retain, making your way to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an exhale, making your way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath. 2 more. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Retain, making your way to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an exhale, making your way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. We've got this. Take a full breath. Last one, here we go. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Retain, making your way to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an exhale, making your way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a few moments in mountain pose to pause and catch our breath, adjusting as necessary. On to Sun Salutation B. It's similar, but it has a little bit more to it. Let's break it down first, fully modified. To upward salute, keeping the back straight, gaze forward, hands at least shoulder width apart. Small bend in the knees, lowering the hips to chair pose. Gaze forward or slightly up. If this is difficult, you can bring your hands to heart here. To a forward fold, keeping a bend in the knees as needed. To a half lift, squeeze the legs, keeping them strong, and lower. Step back to plank, 1 foot at a time. Modified chaturanga, knees down, tuck the arms, chest down, chin down. Lift the chest in cobra, keeping the elbows bent as needed. Come through table to downward facing dog. Step the right foot through, using your hand to assist if needed. Engage the legs and rise to warrior one. Keep your gaze forward, hands shoulder width apart. Lower the hands down, step the right foot back to plank, flow through once again. Modified chaturanga to cobra, then downward facing dog. Left foot steps through. Another way to modify the step through is to step the foot to the outside of the hand and then walk it in. Engage the legs, coming up to warrior one. Lower the hands, step back to plank. One more time, flowing through modified chaturanga, cobra, to downward facing dog. This is where we would take the time to slow down our breath. Step to a forward fold. Coming to a half lift and lower. Bend the knees, coming back to chair pose. To standing upward salute. And finally, hands to heart. Take a breath here. Let's do Sun Salutation B, unmodified this time. Of course, feel free to modify any of the movements you need to or want to. Upward salute. Lower the hips to chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And lower. Step or hop it back to plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot through, coming up to warrior one. Lower the hands. Float the front leg back to plank, keeping it floated if you can. As you lower to chaturanga, lowering the foot, flip the other, upward facing dog. To down dog. Step the left foot through, warrior one. Lower the hands. Float the front foot back to plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Find your breath here. Step or hop to a forward fold, half lift, flat back, and fold. To chair pose, upward salute, hands to heart. Take a few breaths. We're going into B again, this time adding in our breathing cues. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale to chair pose. Inhale while in chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Retain your breath as you make your way to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Retain as you step the right foot through. Long and slow inhale as you rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale as you float the leg back to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Retain. Step the left foot through. Long inhale on warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale, float the leg back to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take the time to slow down your breath. On an exhale, step or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale while in chair. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a few moments in mountain pose to pause and catch our breath, adjusting as necessary. To end our practice, we are going to flow through Sun Salutation B 3 times. Take modifications wherever you like. Flow with your breath as much as you can without worrying if you think you've messed up. Just do what feels most natural to you in the moment. Let's get into it. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale to chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Retain your breath to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Retain, stepping through on the right. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Retain, step through on the left. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Slow down your breath here. On an exhale to forward fold, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair. Exhale. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath. We've got 2 more. Big, strong movements here, and we're almost done. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale to chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Retain your breath to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Retain, stepping through on the right. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Retain, step through on the left. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Slow down your breath here. On an exhale to forward fold, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair. Exhale. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment to breathe. We've got one more. With minimal cueing this time, let's get going. Upward salute to chair pose. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Plank. Flow through. Down dog. Step through on the right. Inhale, warrior one. Hands down. Bring it back and flow through. Down dog. Step through on the left. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands. To plank. Flow through. Down dog. Take a few breaths. Exhale to fold. Half lift. And lower. Inhale to chair. Exhale. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. That's it for today. Take a few deep breaths and stick around for some tips for your practice. There's a tradition in yoga to practice 108 sun salutations at the turn of the seasons for the fall and spring equinox and the winter and summer solstice. 108 is a significant number in yoga and it runs deep. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about how we're going to get through those 108. First of all, practicing in a group is always easier because you have the support of the people around you to get through 108 sun salutations. And after today's practice, I'm sure you can agree, it's a big number. It does take quite a while. In my experience, anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours is what you can expect to take to get through this practice. Of course, we're going to be practicing sun salutation A for 108 because practicing sun salutation B for that would be just a little bit bonkers. B stands for bonkers. I want to discuss tips to get through the 108. So I already mentioned that working in a group is ideal, especially since you're going to have somebody keeping count for you. If you're doing it on your own, if you're practicing by yourself at home, that's great. It's a very self-reflective practice. You're going to learn a lot about yourself doing the 108. Having a means to keep count is important. So what you can do is work with stones and work with sets. So if you want to break it down to 12 sun salutations, you're going to do that 9 times, and so on. You're going to do 18 sun salutations 6 times, 27 sun salutations 4 times, or you can break it up however you see fit. It's up to you. If you have stones, something like these works great, any kind of decorative pebble, anything like that. What you can do is count out the amount that you want for your practice. So let's say you are breaking it down to 12 sun salutations for 9 sets. I have 2 different colors of pebbles here, and it works with one as well. You just gotta concentrate a little bit more on how many that you're doing. So I'm gonna place my 9 dark stones at the head of my mat. And I'm going to place the 12 white stones. So these ones represent the 12 sun salutations that you're going to do per set, also at the head of my mat. And as I work through my sun salutations, we come up, we come down, lower, lift, down dog, make our way back up. I can take a white pebble, move it to the other side, lift, down, and up. And so that's 1. And then you keep doing that all the way until you've moved all 12 over to this side. And when you move your last white pebble, or your last of the 12 pebbles, you move 1 of your set pebbles over to the side. So now you know how many sets you have left. So now these are going to come back this way on your next set, and so on. You get the idea. So that's just a way that I like to do it, to keep track of how many I'm doing, so that I actually make sure that I'm focusing, because no matter how good you think you are at keeping count, eventually it is going to get hard to remember. Your body's going to get tired, you're going to be sore, you're going to be distracted by something. Even though we want to not be distracted, we want to keep focus, we want to keep concentration. 108 is a big number. Find a method that works for you. That's what I do. If you have a different way to keep count that you really like, let us know down below. Another tip I have for the 108 is to make sure to prepare for it physically. So you know it's coming. It takes a while to get it done. It's not likely you're just going to do it randomly. You're going to decide to do it. You're going to pick a day. And the week leading up to the 108 practice, you want to make sure that you taper off of some of your other exercises. If you also do bodyweight training or resistance training of any kind, you want to lay low, especially on the upper body stuff. It's going to take a lot out of you to get through 108 chaturangas, to upward facing dogs, to down dogs, and so on. It is taxing physically on the body, and that's really going to challenge you mentally. So to prime yourself as much as possible, make sure that you're going easy on the rest of your workouts the week leading up to the 108, so that you can go in fully energized and prepared for the workout. If you're a runner, you can compare it to race day and how you're tapering off the week leading up to. Something else you're going to want to consider is that during the 108, there's a lot of movement going on. You're going up and down and back and up and down and back. You want to adjust your clothing as little as possible. So make sure that you wear an outfit that stays put as much as possible. Don't wear those pants that are always riding down, that you're always kind of pulling back up. Don't wear that bra that you're always kind of tugging at. Wear the clothing that you feel the most comfortable in, that you feel like is going to be the least distracting. We want to minimize those outside distractions as much as possible, and that includes our clothing, especially our clothing. And if you're like me and your pants tend to roll down a little bit, you really want to wear the ones that you know are going to stay put as much as possible. Your hair is another thing. We want to make sure that our hair is out of the way, because as we flip upside down, sure, we may look cute that day with our hair down, but we really want to get it out of our face, out of the way, so that we're not constantly tugging at our clothes and moving our hair out of the way. Another thing to consider about the 108 is that perfection is not a factor. You don't have to do every single sun salutation exactly the same way. You don't have to do every single one unmodified. If you're at number 30 and your arms are starting to feel tired and you're pushing through, let's say you're working with a group and everybody's still going and you want to go too, it's okay to modify a few of them until you've given your body enough rest physically to be able to go back to those unmodified ones you've been doing. It's okay to modify every single one. It's important just to do what your body feels like it needs to do to get through those 108. It might be tempting to break it up even further and give yourself a long break, but I encourage you not to do that. Because not only is this a physical practice, but it is much more a mental practice. We really want to challenge ourselves and see what our minds are capable of pushing us through, and how much focus we can bring to this practice is so important. And that's what helps us grow. That's what helps us ground. And that's what helps us appreciate everything that's happened in the season that we are leaving, or the season that we are accepting. Another tip is to pay attention to your breath. And I know that kind of goes without saying, because during a sun salutation, we tend to flow with our breath. But you should notice what's happening. Are you moving really fast? And is that because you're breathing really fast? So one tends to follow the other. If we're getting a little bit out of breath and we start to take quicker breaths, we're going to start to move faster, and that's not going to help our breath slow down at all. So if we're moving faster, it's going to force our breath to move faster, on the other hand. So we want to really kind of just pay attention to that and notice if you're moving too quickly, if you're getting out of breath, slow down your body and really focus on allowing your breath to follow. So slow it down with your body. It might take a couple of repetitions to really catch back up. And by catch back up, I mean slow back down. And so that's something you just want to keep in mind because again, getting through 108 is taxing and we don't want to get out of breath, especially early on. So my final tip, and I feel like I could go on forever with these, would just be to follow up this practice with some self-love. So whether that's taking a bath, having someone massage your shoulders, booking a massage, or just taking it easy on your workouts that are leading into the following week or the days that are following the 108 sun salutations. You might not feel it right away, but you might end up feeling it later that day or the next day. Expect some tender muscles and some soreness because as we discussed, it is 108 chaturangas. It is 108 upward facing dogs. And while getting a solid workout out of it is definitely not the goal, it is something that is going to happen and you are going to feel it. So expect that and plan for it.